Hello, everybody. Welcome to Torn Tuesday. That is your host with the most, Clifford Broadway, setting up all of his stuff with a fun new hat. I like that hat, Clifford.
Jigglypuff, it's time to sing. Sing, Jigglypuff, sing.
Oh my goodness, you have the best hats. Are you going to be bringing an assortment of hats to Comic-Con?
You better believe it. You better believe it. It's going to be a great, really great experience. This Comic-Con is, we're going to do our very best to take all the necessary precautions, and everyone's going to be wearing their masks, and everybody is going to be vaccinated to have access to the exhibit hall. So we're going to be doing our very best, but ultimately, I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to the experience of being together with fellow nerds and all the amazing people who are coming together. I mean, we have a lot to talk about today on our wonderful show, Torn Tuesday. Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the weekly broadcast with all the news and all the gossip and all the in-between stuff here at theonering.net. And I'm Clifford Broadway, and that's Justin Sewell. And welcome, everybody. Nice to have you guys back for another week edition, Tuesday, Torn. Tuesday Torn. Let's
Tuesday
flip it out.
Torn,
Tuesday Torn. Let's do that.
It's my camera's just a little bit crooked, and I'm OCDing over it. But theonering.net has been around for over 20 years. We've been going to Comic-Con since the Lord of the Rings days, since 2000, year 2000. So this will be our 22nd year that theonering.net has been going there. We had a booth for several years, and then we didn't. But we've always had panels, and we continue that trend. We have 2 panels that we are hosting at this year's Comic-Con, and we're bringing back a booth. And Cliff, to respond to what you just said.
Wow.
I'm bringing tests. So
excellent.
This is all of our COVID tests. I really don't want to get sick, folks. Please wear your mask if you're coming.
They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. Okay. They don't have a choice.
People have a choice of testing, and I'm going to ask everybody that's working our booth to test. Because we'll be in close quarters with a select group of people.
I'm getting some extra N95s. So I'll have those really cool N95s that make that, like a bird beak. I'll look like I'll have the bird beak type of mask. So I'm going to have a couple of those. And it's going to be so exciting. I don't know if you saw this today, Justin, but let me ask you first. And I'm sure the audience can chime in. Did you see that huge article that we just published on theonering.net previewing all the stuff that's happening at Comic-Con? Did you see that? Oh, no, you did. You wrote it. You wrote that.
We just published it.
Yes,
I've
did.
been teasing you guys here on the show for the last few weeks. I know I kept promising to tell you, but then things changed, things improved. Things are continually improving. In fact, a couple of those things that are in that article that we just posted today at theonering.net, those were just confirmed this morning.
And they'll be updated. Some things will be updated still on that story, right?
Yeah. So, and I'm watching the chat here. Dr. Nosy, this show is not just about merch. We've got a lot to talk about, including stuff that happened and stuff that is going to happen. So I doubt that there will be much War of the Rohirrim at SDCC. If you want to know about War of the Rohirrim, I highly suggest you come to our panel on Thursday morning at 10:30 a.m.
Yep.
Can't say anything more, but if you are more excited about War of the Rohirrim anime from Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema,
my gosh.
Just come to our panel. You're not going to be disappointed. Our panel will not be live streamed. So the stuff in the room is special for the room.
That is the con experience in a nutshell. That's what it is. In a nutshell, you're there to see firsthand and to hear firsthand these things that are happening. So, I mean, I'm all about that. But
will it be uploaded later? We haven't decided yet. I think we have to get permission from some people. I can't say. The panels that we are bringing are for panel people, and the merch that we are bringing are for people at the con. There's no online store. Torn does not have a store up right now online that you can order it. So if you see anything
That is
that
right.
you want to see, that you want to buy, you're going to have to call a friend, um, tweet, DMs, beg someone to buy you that shirt and ship it to you.
That's
Because
how it works. That's literally,
that's
that's it. That's how it
it's
works.
con exclusives. That's how con exclusives work.
You know how many years my buddies who play Magic the Gathering cards would beg me, please go early, get in line at the Mattel lineup. Yeah, the Mattel toys, where they're usually doing He-Man and Masters of the Universe toys. Well, that's where they also have the exclusive, like other things you got to get for Magic the Gathering. Believe it or not, it's through Hasbro. And that's what they did. They gave me the money, and I personally stood in that line
for hours.
I took time out of my bloody day. Do you know it was impossible at one point to go to the Funko booth because they wanted some exclusive Funko Pops, and I could not do that for them because you had to get on a draw your name out of the lottery system to be able to have early access to even stand in the bloody line. So there was some merchandise I could not get. That's how exclusive it can be at San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, really. and you know what? Our first exclusive that we're going to announce right now, you see his name in the chat right now.
There he is.
You can see it in the box behind, underneath me.
There he is.
Nerd of the Rings is coming to Comic-Con for his very first San Diego Comic-Con appearance ever. And I believe the first time he's ever been in a booth or presentation, not just as a participant, casual con goer. But Matt, Nerd of the Rings, your YouTube's #1 Tolkien lore expert, is going to be there to answer all of your questions, because I know everybody has questions about the lore and what is Amazon doing and what is this Rings of Power stuff and how does it fit into the lore. And I heard that the lore is wrong. The lore. Matt will be here at the booth, at the One Ring booth, to take your questions and answer it. So I hope he remembers all of his videos. I hope he remembers the content of all 1,000 of his YouTube videos.
All of his research, all absorbed in his brain pan. All of that research. Well, I've done years of research myself, and I can barely keep any of the leaks, from coming out of the sieve. It's a sieve. It just,
Matt, as long as you're here, I have a bunch of stuff to show you, but as long as Matt's here, let me show you guys this. Check this out. Just announced, Kevin Eastman is coming to Comic-Con with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection off-site. You get to play the game, and the first 500 attendees on Thursday will also receive a limited edition black and white print designed and drawn by Kevin Eastman himself.
That's awesome.
That
is so awesome. Do you know why? Kevin Eastman is the biggest Lord of the Rings nerd in the universe. Kevin Eastman is a friend of Torn and a friend of the show. He's been on the show a couple times. He explained to us how his wedding ring is the One Ring of Power. But he did not explain how he convinced his wife to agree to that, because I think that's kind of brilliant. On behalf of Kevin Eastman fans everywhere and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans everywhere, I'm telling you, you will not do a better conversation than to sit down and dig deep into the nerdy, real nitty gritty about Tolkien stuff with Kevin Eastman. He's an exceptional fellow and a longtime friend of ours. Yes, he is.
And allegedly Nerd of the Rings is a big Ninja Turtle fan. So Matt, that one was for you. If you skip the One Rings panel, which I don't recommend you do, but if you do, you could go get the Kevin Eastman print, which I will not fault you for.
That's funny.
Matt also in the chat room says you're over promising the questions. Well, to give you a break from answering questions, we are excited to announce that the Tolkien professor, Dr. Corey Olson, will be joining us on Saturday and Sunday to answer all of your lore questions. Because if you don't believe us shills at theonering.net, who are obviously on payroll with big corporations, and if you don't believe YouTube's #1 Tolkien lore expert, you have to believe Stephen Colbert's favorite Tolkien scholar, the Tolkien professor himself, Dr. Corey Olson, who's the founder of Signum University. So, I mean,
Yep.
you guys, like Comic Con, yes, it's about fun and movie studios and stuff, but it's also about experts in comic writing, comic drawing, and lore. And, you know, we wanted to bring some of the best lore experts around to kind of answer my questions, because Cliff is sick of answering my stupid questions on the show.
That's funny. You are so funny, dude. Actually, we also have Happy Hobbit, another lore historian, Kelly Rice.
Oh my God, did we lose him? Ah, he's freaking out right now.
What?
Boy, Clifford. Well, while Cliff's
middle to screen, Lawrence Jenk, who is New Better Duba on TikTok. He is an exceptional lore master. He's going to join us as well. I mean, we have so many great lore masters. I'll be absorbing by osmosis. By osmosis, I'll be picking it all up, I'm sure.
Cliff, I will need you at the booth every hour on the hour to do our trivia giveaways, because we have so much good stuff to give away. So you are really good at the trivia.
Oh, I'm glad to do that. Glad to help out. Glad to have my sound back. Audio sound activate. So yeah,
audio sound. Oh, I shared the Zoom link with some of the people going to Comic-Con. Let's see who's here.
Who's going to join us? Is that Anne-Marie?
Let's see who pops up in the black box.
Yay!
Hello.
Yeah, howdy, folks.
Hey there, how are you, my dear? It's great to see you again.
So good to see you. I love your hat.
Thank you. It's just this hat. It keeps my head warm at night. To be honest. So,
the reveal.
That's
the reveal is great.
It is lovely to see you. And are we excited for this upcoming journey to the convention?
Listen, I'm manically cleaning at 1 a.m. because of how excited I
am. 1 a.m. That puts you in what city right now?
Oh, 100%. Still in London. Absolutely.
Okay, wow. Thanks.
So you're flying from London just to go to Comic-Con and then go back to London. That is not a short flight.
It's not, but you know what? Anything for Tolkien. You know what I mean? You got to make sacrifices for joy.
Anamaria, you guys might remember her. She joined Vanity Fair on the Twitter space when Vanity Fair dropped their big thing. I was on there as well, and she is one of the top, my favorite tweeters and verified Twitter accounts. And she's joining us for our Sunday panel to talk about the second age of lore and to address some of the misconceptions that are going on. And I know you've been doing some research lately, catching up and ready for the booth. Anything you want to kind of tease that we're going to talk about?
Ooh, well, let's just say I've been talking to some of your favorite experts and content creators and picking their brains on what are the most recurring misconceptions they've seen during their time debunking on our favorite platforms like twitter.com and TikTok. And so we'll be handling pretty heavy lore stuff. I talked to our king, Don Marshall, and one of the first things he's dropped was, no, you can't take the Eagles to Mordor, which is why he's coordinated an entire TTRPG campaign for that reason. And also, and this is something that I personally am very passionate about, we'll be chatting about some of the more controversial, spicy, hot topics about what does Middle Earth look like in our age, who is Middle Earth for, and I'm really excited to have those conversations outside of a space that demands you reduce everything to a tweet or a thread. So
excellent. We're going to have some really healthy nuts and bolts conversations, and I'm so looking forward to it. You know, the greater context about Tolkien and his literary legacy being universal, you know, and that aspect, I can't wait to get into that. I can't wait to have some more juicy conversations. And you know, how many different languages around the world is the Lord of the Rings actually translated into? We'll start right there. We'll give you the facts, and then we'll talk about the worldwide audience, everybody from every place of every possible origin, and how they love Tolkien. It's all going to come to that. I can't wait to get into that. It's going to sound good.
Yeah, the facts thing is real.
Yeah.
I
That's why they're facts. Yes.
I brought the trilogy, and I brought the Silmarillion, and I brought the Hobbit here, but like the rest of my Tolkien books are in the States, so I had to like reorder his Book of Letters. I had to reorder, and so I have this lovely new book of his letters that is sticky noted and highlighted to oblivion. So yeah, we will be coming with pure facts, what the professor himself said and did.
I love it.
I'm really excited about that.
Super good.
Yeah, I'm nervous because some of our least favorite YouTube accounts are going to be at Comic-Con as well, and so like we're setting up a public debate, So but you know what? We have the stage, and if they want to get a stage of their own, they can do that. This is why we got the Tolkien professor. This is why we got Anamaria here, and this is why we got Nerd of the Rings and everybody else, because we like, these are the experts, like that have made Tolkien their life, and so I trust them because I don't even trust me.
Yeah, we know better.
Get me out of here.
we all know better. We all know better. I mean, when we do this kind of Felix and Oscar routine every week, Justin, it's always about you making some outrageous assumption based on the movies, and me telling you, actually, in the book, the
movies are good. So let me ask you this, and let me give you the first rumor of Comic-Con. This is not confirmed on anything, but this is a wild rumor. What if you arrive in San Diego, you wait in line for hours to get your wristband for Hall H, you wake up early, you go into Hall H, you sit down, they bring out the cast and the crew and the showrunners, you get to see them for the first time, and then halfway through the panel, what if they say, guys, we brought the first episode for you?
Listen, don't play with my heart like this, Justin.
Didn't this happen for real with Dark Crystal?
Yeah, it sure did. And we're talking about a legacy project. It is comparable to take, Jim Henson's greatest fantasy project, which would be, I call a legacy project. And then here's J.R.R. Tolkien now coming back to the forefront of popular culture in a big way, and it's another legacy project. And so what did they do? In Hall H, they had 90 minutes of time, and they said, guess what? We're going to show you the entire first episode of The Dark Crystal, The Age of Resistance. And that was Netflix not wanting to just have dead airspace in the middle of Hall H, where they didn't have anybody on stage, and they had nobody really to talk to for an hour and a half. So what did they do? They maximized that 90 minutes. And it was an excellent move. Everybody in the audience was blown away when they heard, recognizably, Sigourney Weaver as the narrator, introducing us to the world of Thra. And it was mind-blowing. Oh, look, there's Mr. Edgerton. There's all these famous voices that we were all like, we spent the next hour as a hardcore fandom just going, wow, it just like eyes lit up, and everyone went squee. It was the biggest squee. You've never heard squee out of a fandom like you've heard that squee. It was like that. So now what are they gonna do? They're gonna bring, let's imagine that in this equation, they bring out Patrick McKay and J.D. Payne, and then they bring out some of the actors from the show. Are they gonna make them stand there for 90 minutes?
The reason I like this rumor, though, is we don't know anything about the show. So Hall H is famous for a Q&A with fans, but we don't know anything to ask. Like, I really don't know what I would ask. Like, because we don't know what happens. We don't know what half the cast, who they play.
Right.
But what are they going to talk about? Because they've been so secretive. Like, the only thing I can think of is dim, hi everybody. It was really fun. It was really hard. We were locked in New Zealand. Here's what we worked on. I don't see how this is going any other way.
What? Imagine a 10-minute or 12-minute preview or behind the scenes stuff, and then they talk on stage for a half an hour. That still does not fill up
Not
90.
enough to fill, but yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what do you want to see, Anamaria? What do you want to see?
Well, now I kind of want to see the first episode. Now you've really hyped this up for me. I mean, at the very least, I'm expecting like a solid amount of video content. I'm expecting us to collectively watch something and experience something as a community. Because otherwise, we're going to be throwing the most generic interview questions at these artists. Like, so what was your favorite experience on set? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that right now. We want to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, now I'm going to riot. Now my hopes are entirely too high. Y'all have ruined it for me.
Yeah, see, here's the thing about being the biggest, most expensive TV show in history. I'm allowed to hype this up beyond all expectations.
Absolutely. Expectations should be in the sky, 100%.
They are. They're the highest than anything else.
Ooh, that is a lot of pressure for the actors, though. I am thinking of them just like having to stand there and witness the reactions in real time, but that's also exciting.
Rumor number 2.
Okay.
We heard that Howard Shore is in town.
What? Since when? Since when?
Cliff, do you remember this? A few years ago, J.J. Abrams brought Star Wars The Force Awakens to Comic-Con. And you remember what he did halfway through his panel?
Let me imagine.
He said, everybody, we have a surprise. We're not going to show you the film. But if you follow me, outside, we have John Williams and the Philharmonic Orchestra, and we're going to play you the soundtrack to Star Wars The Force Awakens. And that's what happened. So rumor number 2 is, instead of seeing the whole episode, they say, ladies and gentlemen, Howard Shore
Yeah.
and the Philharmonic, and we get a concert.
Okay, listen, no lie, Howard Shore has been my top Spotify Wrapped artist every year since Spotify Wrapped came out. So that's a good plan B for me. I'm on board with that.
Amazon, I'm giving you ideas. It's not too late. You have all the money in the world.
Just throwing softballs at them. Come on. Come on, we've got 2 weeks. Come on. Not even.
What is there anything else? Have you had time to see all the other Comic-Con stuff? Is there anything else you're looking forward to, whether it's Kevin Eastman or The Rock or any other show? I don't know.
Listen, no disrespect to The Rock. I don't know that I'm that invested in him. I'm definitely interested in Dom and Billy's panel. I believe Critical Role will be there. For anybody who knows me, I'm a dungeon master. I'm a huge TTRPG nut, so I'm excited about that. Other than that, no, I have not gone through the schedule. It is finals week for me in grad school, so we've been going full steam ahead, preparing for this exciting opportunity, and also, doing my homework. Yeah, I really want to see Critical Role. I would love that. They're the reason I started playing D&D. So
that sounds really awesome. I'm with you on that all the way. And you're right. All the folks from Critical Role will definitely be there. I'm going to make a controversial take, and I would say that even if they had a choice of offering the first 1-hour episode, I would actually prefer the live Howard Shore music concert performance, because in September, we're going to be able to watch the TV show as many times as we want. And they might even have a theatrical release, maybe, where we're with a bunch of friends having a big screening event or a fun, opening night screening party. But one of a kind opportunity to be able to see Howard Shore conducting an orchestra live, that would be my ticket to heaven right there.
That's extremely fair. That would be the more unique experience. Although I'm torn though, because I still kind of want, I don't know the experience of experiencing this new groundbreaking thing with all the fans, then being able to ask questions directly. I don't know.
You're right. I get that.
Give us
Give us
both.
both.
Come on.
Let's do both.
Come on, Amazon. What's the problem?
I love that. That's brilliant. Yeah, let's have it all. You can afford it, Jeff. You can afford it, Jeff. You can afford
Come on,
it.
Jeffrey.
So-
Come on.
That's the other gossip I've heard from sources in the know
Justin.
that Jeff, Uncle Jeff,
Don't
Daddy
call him
Jeff,
that.
Daddy Jeff,
Lex Luthor.
Jeff Bezos will not be coming to Comic-Con.
I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest. That might be like a net positive just for Amazon's brand and for the Rings of Power's brand. I do think that.
you know what?
Right?
If he did, he might do the same thing that Peter Jackson once did, where he's walking around in the exhibit hall in a ridiculous costume, and nobody ever knew it was really Peter Jackson, ever, until much later on when he revealed that was me in that weird costume. So, people do get away with that. Weird, anonymous celebrities do show up in full cosplay, and no one knows it's them. So, anyway.
Honestly, I would kill to see Jeff Bezos dressed as the Witch King. Or Sauron. That could be fun. No
Just
reason.
Put the mask on. Become your true self.
That's funny. You guys are funny today. This is really funny. Did we talk about how many different panels we have? Because it's not just one. We have two.
Ooh.
So let's get into that, Justin. We've got two panels, and I believe the first one is Thursday morning. Is that right?
Yes, it's Thursday morning, and it is an all-encompassing Lord of the Rings panel. So because we're the One Ring and we're not beholden to any studio, we can talk about all the studios. So we're gonna be Rings of Power, of course. But not much.
He is freezing. There was a big hiccup.
The sniper's got him. Oh, there he is. Okay.
He's digitally frozen. Are you back? Welcome back.
I'm back.
Okay, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So our Thursday panel is about anything Lord of the Rings. We're going to talk about Rings of Power, of course. We'll talk about War of the Rohirrim. We'll talk about the Gollum game. We'll talk about the Dwarves of Moria game.
Okay, that's so cool that there's two games coming out. That's cool.
And there's a new Tolkien book coming out.
Hallelujah.
Praise.
That is basically a narrative version of the Second Age.
You mean the one that was edited by Brian Sibley, esteemed Tolkien scholar, and the guy who worked on the BBC adaptation?
That's right.
Yeah.
So there is a lot to talk about that is not just Rings of Power. And because Rings of Power is going to have their own Hall H presentation, I don't think we're going to spend much time on it because we've got other stuff. And honestly, the other stuff is so exclusive. You guys don't want to miss it. Get in line as soon as you wake up. Head on over to the convention. Get in line for the 10:30 a.m. panel because I promise you don't want to miss what we have coming. And some of the stuff is coming from around the globe.
Yes, it is. It's a big, he's about to do Release the Hounds. But, but seriously, we do have to keep our mouths reasonably mum, but there's stuff that we've got to show the fans at our presentation. It's going to be top drawer stuff.
It's gonna be it's gonna be great. We've been doing this for 20 years and we're not afraid to ask. So we're not afraid to ask.
And after 22 years of being at Comic-Con, actually everybody's been very accommodating. All the wonderful people at the convention center have been so accommodating for us to have a booth, to actually have space, to be there permanently all of the days of the convention, and to have extra panel presentations. And we're sitting on a legacy ourselves. I don't want to, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I think the OneRing.net,
toot your own horn. Toot it. You deserve it.
As a community, we are unique. We are very unique as a literary community. And we have had like a permanent staying power for over 2 decades on the pop culture landscape at San Diego Comic-Con. And because I was the first wandering journalist to go down there in the year 2000, all by my lonesome, and trying to meet Sir Richard Taylor and try to get some little inklings of stories from them that he wanted to say, and he kept smiling that he couldn't say what he wanted to talk about. And meeting all those people for the first time from New Line Cinema, we had a really good time, and we brought in Ian McKellen as a surprise guest to speak to all the fans who had no idea that he was coming. It was just announced that he had been cast by Fox to work in a little mutant film called X-Men. And it was the earliest announcement that he had also been cast, not only to play Magneto, but to be Gandalf the Grey in Peter Jackson's massive effort of films. Nobody had seen him yet appear in front of thousands of people at a crowded, convention experience. And it was electricity in the room when he showed up, like I've never seen electricity before. It was wild.
Cliff, I found the article that you posted on July 27th, 2000.
Don't even.
22 years ago. I'm going to have it up on screen right here. I found the article. It says, a quote from Quick Beam's report. I just got done watching the Lord of the Rings footage at Comic-Con 2000, and I am even more hyped about it now than before. All in all, it was killer, and the part with Ian coming out was totally unexpected, totally made my Comic-Con 2000. We got another comment. The featurette was fabulous. My only complaint that it was too short, but it made my visit to Comic-Con. It says, another one. I agree completely with Quick Beam's review of the Lord of the Ring panel. The crowd energy when Sir Ian himself was introduced was chilling. Everyone stood as one and cheered. I felt he was genuinely touched by the reception. And Cliff,
do you know he was in between jobs? He had just left Vancouver. He had just finished all of his principal photography with Bryan Singer and the crew for the first X-Men film, and with Sir Patrick Stewart and everybody, and Hugh Jackman. He was on his way bouncing to New Zealand. But before
he was en route from the X-Men set,
that is correct,
to San Diego to New Zealand.
That is correct. That's correct. And he decided to bounce over for half a day, just to come up and get that reception from the fans. And it energized him before he went to stay for 18 months straight in New Zealand to be Gandalf.
I do want to highlight that quote again. It says, and Sir Ian himself was introduced, was chilling. Everyone stood as one and cheered. I felt he was genuinely touched by the reception. That was from Quick Beam's report in 2000. Now, and I want to remind everybody that Ian McKellen's casting was as controversial then as any of the casting in Rings of Power right now.
And so is Kate Blanchett's, and so is Hugo Weaving's. Like there was so much ugliness leveled at these actors 20 years ago, and we're just repeating the same cycles. It's not hard to be kind, y'all. These actors love Middle-earth just like we do, and they need affirmation. They've worked really hard for this,
People hate it. A lot of people's imagination had Legolas had brown hair for 50 years. And so he shows up as this long blonde hair. Like, what's going on? But Ian McKellen specifically, Cliff, you remember, because you were part of Ian McKellen's web team, is that there was a lot of bigotry, both on the One Ring and other message boards like Ain't It Cool, bigotry and homophobia, saying a gay man will ruin Tolkien's Catholic legacy.
Yep, there was.
Tolkien the Catholic will not approve of Ian McKellen, a gay man, playing the most important character in Lord of the Rings. And it wasn't just a couple nasty people, it was a big deal.
It was literally a thing. It was a thing. And it died down after a while when there were other things that draw their attention. But the early conversation was, where can we create this kind of, really, it was all in the talkbacks. They called them talkbacks, and that was the forum where people could post their comments at the bottom of every article that was on Ain't It Cool News. And the energy there was, some people were just like, wow, Ian McKellen is great. Some people said, we don't know who he is. They had no idea he had just won the Tony Award being on Broadway in Amadeus opposite Tim Curry as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And Ian McKellen was playing Salieri, but no one knew who he was, except he was that guy who played Death in that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, The Last Action Hero. That was the only general pop culture frame of reference for who Ian McKellen was. And all this conversation about him being an LGBT activist in England and being an openly gay actor caused a lot of ridiculousness, a lot of commentary and heat about how can you bring in an openly gay actor in such a devoutly Catholic story? You know, how dare you? And it seems ridiculous now. And a lot of people who've been giving the OneRing.net backlash, it's saying, where's your receipts? Receipts, or it didn't happen. Well, believe me, I'm telling you, it happened. And just because
Harry Knowles has popped into it. Yeah.
Google is free. Like,
you know what? Do your own research. If you don't believe me, do your own research.
Yeah, you can go ask Harry Knowles to dig up the old servers and look at the servers from 22 years ago.
So Cliff, you were helping on his website. I want to ask you. This quote says, "I felt he was genuinely touched by the reception he received at Comic-Con 2000."
Yes.
Do you think he was genuinely touched because the internet had been so nasty?
That's exactly correct. It was a definite counterpoint. It was an unbelievable thing that was in sharp relief against the other comments. The comments had become so ridiculous that Ian himself actually wrote and posted his own blog entry on McKellen.com saying, well, you know, they just don't want us to play in the sandbox. And he was talking about LGBT representation across different industries. And in show business, he was saying, you know, a unique commentary that he said, and it all happened, it was all real. And in the end, what was surprising was that nobody would ever really dream of talking like that now. After they saw his Oscar-nominated performance in The Fellowship of the Ring, everybody shut the hell up really fast.
Yeah.
And then it became universal praise.
So I personally want history to repeat itself, and I want Comic-Con to receive the cast of Rings of Power with the biggest standing ovation, and the warmth that this community has in itself to welcome all these actors.
Yeah, and just to speak to that, the internet really trains our brains to deal in binary absolutes and to deal in extremes, and we're all hardwired now to be our most aggressive reactionary selves. But there is multiple things can be true at once. You can be cautious about a new Tolkien adaptation. You can have your concerns, you can have your good faith worries. That doesn't mean you have to be cruel. We are able to be cautious and kind. We are able to be critical and still good community members. And so I just really encourage people to hold that. I know that outrage gets more clicks on YouTube. I know that really angry comments tend to get a lot of people who agree, and that makes you feel good in the moment. But these people are human beings, and you know, it wouldn't kill you to be a little generous and follow Tolkien's example of prioritizing love in this sense.
I agree 1,000 times over. And in that space of being cautiously optimistic about a show, a piece of entertainment that we don't have any control over. We have no control over it, do we? If there is any criticism at the final analysis, when we get to see the end of the series, season 1, and we're all talking about its relative successes and failures as an adaptation, if anybody deserves a special lick of criticism, it wouldn't be the poor actors, it would probably be the writer's room. It might be that if we do want to have an honest conversation and say, what is the nuts and bolts of this adaptation? Where did they come from with these ideas? Where did they deviate? How useful was it for adhering to the canon or deviating from the canon? We could talk about all of that with love and temperance and compassion. And we could do all that honestly without pulling the actors underwater, because they didn't write the stuff. It's the writers who are writing it. So I would say that in the end analysis, we should reserve everything until we get to the other side of the show. And then we can actually talk about, well, you know, up and down, mixed bag, and we'll find out, or maybe it's just going to be overwhelmingly good, really good stuff with like real spirit and real oomph, some kind of, maybe there's a zest, some unspoken alchemy that we don't even know that they may have managed, because Peter Jackson managed to get this alchemy of amazing things that were unexpected elements that came together so beautifully. Maybe we'll get lucky. And I think the worst thing in the world that it could possibly be is pedestrian and boring. That might be the worst insult to Tolkien, is if the show has that much effort and that much money and that much of an engine behind a massive TV series, but if it ends up being middle of the road and we're just like, meh, you know, then wouldn't that be a crime? That would be the big crime, is if it ends up being like that. But I don't expect that.
But so entertainment and fandom is two directions, right? And Twitter has exacerbated that. But our job their job as fans is to bring it and get us hype. Our job as fans is to show the respect and the love that they've earned by putting in the hardest of work, by being locked down in New Zealand uncontrollably from the pandemic, spending 2 Christmases away from their families. For many, this is their first TV show or movie ever.
Yes.
I mean, these actors put in the work.
Yeah. And
they deserve a warm welcome that the internet just cannot provide.
Absolutely.
And also, just speaking from personal experience, I've been bombarded online by bigots many a time throughout my years on twitter.com. But I think it always hurts more when it comes from something you love. Like when I was seeing racist comments from like Lord of the Rings fans because of the Lord of the Rings fandom, that hurt a lot more and hit like a lot deeper than just complete randos who were mad at a tweet I said, you know, or something that I was doing with community organizing or just something serious. And so I do want to stress, and also perspective as an actor, this is these people's dreams coming true. Now, again, we're going to see whether the end product is something that we can all rock with. But this has been like a life-changing, glorious opportunity for these artists. And to have that twisted and to have that thrown against them to hurt them, it's like a different kind of sadistic, it's a different kind of hurt. So I do also want people to keep that in mind as well. There's a lot going on. These people are people.
They're people, and we did it 20 years ago because for months and months there was all this homophobia and bigotry against Ian McKellen's casting, and from people who genuinely thought they were defending Tolkien's Catholic legacy to the very end. And it sounds stupid now, but the stuff being said now about some of these actors it sounds equally as stupid as criticizing. But the fact that in this report that Cliff posted in the year 2000, you know, saying that Ian McKellen really felt, you could feel his emotion of being warmly received. That's our job. Moving on from difficult discussions, who are you most excited to see from the Lord of the Rings cast? We know Varking in the chat wants to see the dwarves. Is there a particular actor or character class that you are like, I really want to high five them?
I'm not gonna lie. I love the Hobbit movies. It's, you know, guilty pleasure. You know, I enjoy them. It's a good time, you know, have a couple glasses of wine, enjoy the songs. But like, I do think anyone from the original trilogy, anyone from the Fellowship would make me kind of implode and explode. And
well, Sean Astin just got COVID at Fan Expo Chicago this weekend.
Oh dear.
If you guys search Fan Expo and Sean Astin's, the 4 Hobbit boys were taking photo ops with people, but Sean tested positive. So the 3 other guys held up a big picture of Sean's face on a stick for all the photo ops. But Billy and Dunn will be there. They know what booth we're at. And we're happy to announce this is a great segue. Jed Brophy, one of the dwarves from The Hobbit, right there, is going to be at our booth all weekend. He's going to be hanging out, signing autographs, taking photos with you, and telling us what it was like in New Zealand during the pandemic. And he's been he's been in a bunch of stuff, but he's been in every Lord of the Rings film. But he was in every Hobbit movie as one of the main dwarves. So we're really excited that Jed is coming our way. So there you go. You get to meet Jed.
He's one of my favorite people. He is one of my favorite actors. He is the best that New Zealand has. He's an exceptional gentleman and a scholar. He's a great guy. Yeah, he's going to laugh at me and probably slap me for saying that. He's so great. No, honestly, he's an outdoorsman, and he is a very talented actor, and he's a stunty. His ability to be stunt performer and a voice actor and a regular thespian actor, all the things that he can do. And he's worked with Peter Jac on so many different film projects going many years back, even working as a puppeteer on Meet the Feebles and being, you know, one of the people who you remember Heavenly Creatures, Kate Winslet and in Heavenly Creatures, remember that? He was one of the actors that she had a little crush on. It was Boarding in the House, and with her and Melanie Linsky. What a great movie. For any of you folks out there, take a dip back in time and look at Peter Jackson's work on Heavenly Creatures. Extraordinary film. And you'll be like, wait a minute, that is Jed Brophy. That's him right there when he was really young. It was really good stuff. So I love that guy. He's going to be a very special friend to join us. But
so yeah, he's going to be around all weekend.
Yeah,
we'll see if we can drag him to the other thing we need to announce, which is we're going to have a party. Middle Earth Moot. We're going to call it the Middle Earth Moot because since we don't know anything about Rings of Power, we don't know where we're going. Like we don't know any since we don't know anything, we couldn't come up with a clever name like Lake Town Luau. That was clever, right? It would for the Hobbit movies. So we're calling it our Middle Earth Moot. It's a Friday night. It is with our pals at Prime Video. So it's our party. We're in charge of the list. We're in charge of the guests. We're in charge of everything. And Prime is bringing some of their... Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say. They're going to bring some stuff. They're going to bring... You know what? All right. I'll tell you one thing.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, she's going to start revealing secrets now. Watch out.
Wait, hold on. No, I shouldn't.
Yeah, we're raising the high. We're raising the high. We don't got to give it to him yet.
So yeah, don't.
Okay, you know what? I won't give you the big thing. I'll give you the medium thing. Actual costumes from Rings of Power will be on display at the party. You can get up close and personal with Galadriel's armor. Ooh. You know, the one that everyone wants to talk about, and Durin's armor of the dwarves, and some other stuff. That's all I'll say. That's all I will confirm. So you will get to see up close and personal. Take photos. Take all the photos you want of actual costumes from the show. And I tell you, I saw them in London, and they are as good as Weta Workshop is best because Weta Workshop did do some of these costumes. I'm telling you,
be exciting, very exciting to see that up close and personal. To answer Monica in the chat, she said, "How can any of us lowly folk come to the party?" And the answer is, it is open to the public.
No badge required.
No San Diego Comic-Con badge at all. And how do you get into the party then is the next question. Justin, there's going to be a sign-up list. How do people sign up to get into the event?
Yeah, we're figuring that out. I'm waiting to hear what capacity, because if we put up a sign-up sheet online, it's going to be just sold out within minutes. So I'm waiting to actually get the numbers that we're allowed to bring in.
Right.
So that's going to be open in the next day or two. We will publish a big post and we'll let you all know to sign up. So if you're not going to con, you don't have a badge, you will have the chance to sign up on the thing. There are no plus ones. Only your name and your email. You can't bring any friends. They have to sign up on their own.
Right.
Cosplay encouraged. If you can whip together something for Rings of Power, Amazon would take a liking to you. And as we saw with the London trip, they treat people they like nicely. Just saying.
Yeah, and that's why you're a paid shill. That's why you're a paid shill, right?
Yeah, Justin. I can't
Jeez.
believe you're a capitalist lover who absolutely in love with a mega huge corporation that's taking over the world. Wow.
Cliff, didn't we hear the same stuff 20 years ago because we were so positive on the Lord of the Rings with all the previews that we got and being sent to Cannes Film Festival and the Comic-Con footage? Like, do you remember being called just a sellout?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Even it was when I had to face down people making comments about
Face
Liv.
down.
I had to. When you're trying to face down the people online who are like, oh, like raging at you, it was not like I was trying to support whatever, you know, the bigger machinery behind New Line Cinema. I was actually thinking about Peter Jackson as an isolated, independent filmmaker who was stuck in a far, far away land without being part of the major Hollywood apparatus or part of the infrastructure of what was going on here, not connected to Los Angeles. Him and all of his workers and Peter's craftspeople and the painters and the sculptors and the greens department, the costume designers, they were all stuck down there far, far away. And I thought it was really great for us to have on the OneRing.net this energized fandom giving them support and like a supportive energy, because it was years away from them being able to show and reveal all their hard work. So I really kind of felt like it was being a support arm of the artists and the craftspeople, that I was always proud of that. I'm still proud of that from decades later. And some of the funniest comments were like, Liv Tyler? Why would they cast Liv Tyler?
All she wears is crop tops. We're going to have a crop top wearing Arwen.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
People don't understand the concept of acting. I'm convinced they don't understand what actors do. They don't know what costumes are. My God.
Yeah, it was.
No,
really
it was very controversial because they put Kate Blanchett and Liv Tyler on all the magazine covers. So you, instead of like having the 4 Hobbit boys and whatever, and all the Lord of the Rings stuff that fans want, instead these 2 beautiful women are on the cover of Cosmopolitan and Entertainment Weekly, and like, you know, all these beautiful fashion spreads like announcing Lord of the Rings coming out. Like, it was just like, how come they're focusing on this? This isn't what we want. Like, boy, were they wrong.
Actually, I went back and wrote an article. I wrote an article and I shamed myself by saying, why didn't I have more faith? And I said in that article, after I fell in love, deeply fell in love with everything that Liv Tyler was doing as Arwen. And I fell in love with her big time. And she's not even my type, but I fell in love with her so hard. And
as did we all.
I'm telling you, I wrote an article and I started to write based upon the way the characters in the secondary world would be feeling as they were, you know, I could understand why Aragorn, played by Viggo, would feel the way he would feel about her, because there was something so tangible, really beautiful and tangible in her performance as Arwen. And I felt guilty for not having more faith in the first damn place. So that's why I wrote that article. But yeah, it's kind of funny when you look back, like, yeah, she was amazing in the end. But now we might end up being in that position again with us not having much faith. And then we'll find out later on after this series, you know, who is the outstanding performer who's really bringing the goods. And we can get to talk about that, you know, all week.
Honestly, back to Hall H, like the marketing has been so whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but if they just want to like let Tolkien speak for himself and let the show speak for itself, just show us the first episode. That's it. Like, you know what? just say, hey, here it is. That would show so much confidence in the work that they've done, all that they've accomplished, directed by J.A. Bayona, with an all-star writing room for Breaking Bad and Hannibal and Westworld, like the best shows on TV. And then the performances, like let the art do the talking. And that's why I think like we should get more than a trailer. You know, I think we're gonna get something special.
That sounds
Justin,
good to
your
me.
agenda. You are selling this. You're selling this, and I love that. If I was Amazon, I'd be quaking right now. I'd be like, "Shit, guys, we gotta shoot the episode."
Do you know what? I'm 1,000% on board. Let's have the Hall H experience be so big that they showed episode 1, and everyone's just like thunderstruck. I can't wait. I want to do this. Now, at this point, if it's just a weak ass rumor, I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen now.
Speaking of disappointment, I am personally disappointed by Amazon's branding of the local trains and buses. They say Orcs Welcome.
Yeah, I saw that. The train.
Are they calling us orcs? Like, did they literally put Orcs Welcome in big impact bold font? Are they calling us orcs? Is this punishment for all of the Twitter debates for the last year? Is this just like
enough? We are sick of y'all.
This is what you mean to us? Orcs Welcome? Is that what this is? Because look, I understand like everyone likes to cosplay and they imagine. I promise you, no child ever said, I'm an orc.
No, I don't know about that, Justin. Children are wild, okay? Have you hung out with have you babysat in the last 5 years? Like, the children are little monsters. And I mean that with utmost affection. I've had way too many jobs that work with kids. I fully believe there is like some little girl somewhere absolutely defying her parents' wishes and begging for an orc costume. That's how I feel.
That's awesome. Yeah, I agree that if I were with a bunch of kids, 7 years old, and we were out in the woods outside of my house playing with sticks as swords, you know, some of the kids would immediately be, we'll be orcs, you guys be elves, and one of you
the chat room agrees with you.
One of you be Aragorn. And
oh my God!
Chat understands.
The chat knows. I used to call my kids orcs. Oh my God!
Yeah. Exactly.
Really?
Listen, I used to like make piles of blankets. I loved the scene in the movies where like the Uruk-hai were being born out of the muck, and so I would like cover myself in blankets and like do that to my mom. Bless her soul. You know. Teach their own.
You know, we should talk about this on the panel, but real quick, do you think that the orcs in this show, Rings of Power, should have the same Cockney accents that Peter Jackson had?
Ooh.
You live in London. You have a unique perspective right now on the culture.
I do have a take. I do have a take on that because of my British peers. In one of our classes, we were discussing accent and how it intersects with class. And there's even a playwright who translated his plays to French because the French accent is a lot more universal and doesn't immediately indicate class. And he didn't like how anytime any of his plays would be performed by British actors, there would be a lot of class implications according to who played what.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if we want to. You'd have to ask a person who speaks like that. But my sense is maybe we don't have to have the orcs be Cockney. I don't know.
I always loved the idea that the orcs all sounded like Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. Where you understand, every British person understands that Dick Van Dyke is delivering the worst Cockney accent.
I'm with that. Let's make a new accent, like a terrible, like whatever my
fake...
my approximation of a Cockney accent is
Right.
so far off that it doesn't even count. Let's do that.
Just like Mary Poppins, you know.
Absolutely.
It's a lovely all a day with Mary.
But that's like that's me DMing my table, right? Like I'll do like the worst Scottish accent for a dwarf, and my players will call me out on it, and I'm like, this isn't Earth. That wasn't a Scottish accent. That was mine. I uniquely created that. So it's not. Why are you mad about it? So yeah,
Exactly.
Yes,
Right,
we're reading the chat. Kaylin Griffin, we're reading all your chats. I personally think that they do need an accent, because I did not like the Hobbit movies where they were subtitled.
That was an interesting and weird choice that didn't make as much sense.
It was a choice, and I did not like that choice of not understanding the orcs.
In the Two Towers, when Merry and Pippin are kidnapped, the different tribes of orcs, some are from Isengard, some are from Cirith Ungol or from Mordor, and because the orcs and the Uruk-hai, literally the Uruk-hai that Saruman had sent, were forced, linguistically forced into speaking in the common tongue, because they were not speaking the black speech of Mordor, which is what the other orcs were talking. So for them to understand each other and conversation over the kidnapped hobbits, both of these groups of orcs were in a condition where they had to speak the common tongue. And that is pretty much why the audience, via Merry and Pippin's point of view, with Merry and Pippin's point of view, the hobbits understood what was being spoken by their captors, right? At least I think that's right.
Oh, I have breaking news right now to settle a Comic-Con rumor. But before I get to that, we've got to come up with clever names for the cocktails and hors d'oeuvres at the party on Friday. So do we have like Balrog wings? Well, like what do we call the food and drink? Got any ideas?
You gotta give me a menu. Come on, what are we?
Yeah, I don't know the menu yet.
All right.
Come on, Justin. We're just gonna pull stuff out of our ass. What are we doing here?
All right.
The One Ring works best at the last minute.
All right. If I'll start here. If there is a signature cocktail, if they're offering different drinks, great. But if they're going to make a specialty drink, and that'll be the signature cocktail, it should be called Miruvor, right? Let's call it Miruvor.
What is that?
Right? Anamaria, tell him. Tell him what it is.
Justin, Miruvor is Cinderin. I'll have you know. Well, I think it's like a borrowed Quenya word.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, it's precious juice. Okay, well, it's not like juice. It's like
elixir.
Alcoholic. It's like a mixed, like alcoholic. Beverage.
Yeah, it's like an elixir, perhaps.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Rename the champagne.
Flowers and honey. I know it had to do with the Yavanna. I think Yavanna's flowers and honey. Like
Elven wine. That's right.
Yeah, let's be like original Miruvor.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now, the reason why you don't know anything about it, Justin, is because Peter Jackson didn't put it in the movie.
That's right. That's right.
One of these days, we're going to have you read the bloody book.
All right, I'm going to bring this up on screen. This just came down the wire. Netflix, The Gray Man, the new movie starring Ryan Gosling and a bunch of other people, is having an off-site experience called the Training Program, where fans will be able to enter a train car, and run down the train car, solving skills, strength, and speed while transporting a top secret file to safety before the mercenaries catch you in the train car before time runs out.
What's that all about?
Heart-pounding mission will include various obstacles and special effects. Of note, and this is why I want to bring this up, of note, this is in the location where Amazon has always had their offsite for the last 5 years.
Okay.
So the Amazon offsite is out.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
well, there goes that rumor.
So the rumors are, if Amazon's building a $5 million Lord of the Rings offsite, whether it's a recreation of Numenor or a recreation of Moria, we don't know yet. but the rumors are they haven't announced anything. It might not exist, but the parking lot that they usually rent for the last like 5 years is now being taken over by Netflix and Ryan Gosling.
So what about the stadium? What about them taking over the entire
Padres Stadium?
Padres Stadium. Usually, caveat for people who don't know, in the past of San Diego Comic-Con, all of Padres Stadium was usually taken over by MTV Networks, which combined with Cartoon Network, because I think that's all Viacom.
Yeah, all Viacom.
So it was pretty much a Viacom takeover. Is that right? So
yeah,
let's assume that maybe Viacom is going to come back and bring all their MTV and Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. Every bit of animation from Adult Swim and Cartoon Network and MTV is all based there. And if they don't show up, wouldn't that be the perfect place to have Howard Shore and the orchestra in Padre Stadium?
We're back.
We're back, baby.
Circling back.
My
Cliff is gonna get his concert if it kills him.
I'm so there. I am.
Howard Shore is actually like locked up in Cliff's house. Like,
yes, I know. I keep him like Harry Potter, like the boy in the cupboard under the stairs. And sometimes I feed him and I give him some blank paper to write music for me sometimes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let's rate the 3 rumors, okay? Number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1 is the best.
Is it called Petco Park? I'm mistaken.
Yeah, Petco Park. So
that's their corporate branding. It's Petco Park, right? Okay.
I want to know what in order, top 3 between a full episode, a Howard Shore concert, and a full build-out immersive Middle-earth experience with actors pretending to be elves and men of Numenor and the whole deal. Out of those 3 things, what do you want most?
You forgot to mention them building a dark ride by the Disney Imagineers. I want the whole damn thing. I want them to build the whole dark ride and everything. Okay.
But you hated the wheelbarrow scene in The Hobbit. How dare you? Actually,
the heroic wheelbarrow stuff with Thorin and the wheelbarrow is a bit much for me. A bit much, but I do like. I like Smaug on the rampage. I love all that stuff. But okay, look, if they're going to do something and we have to choose, if we have to choose between a big, expensive activation that includes walking through walking
through Numenor or Moria, maybe they build Moria.
Maybe they build a labyrinth like a Moria walkthrough. Maybe they do that. But I would definitely take the concert with Howard Shore over that.
Okay, Anamaria.
Okay, well, here's my thing. That wouldn't be happening in Hall H, so wouldn't I be able to choose 2? Those would be in separate locations. Would I not be able?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Rate your top 3. Number 1, number 2, number 3.
I feel like the premise of this ranking is wrong because I would be able to choose 2 answers, but that's fine. Okay, top 3. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a real sucker for immersive stuff. I mean, like I grew up loving going to Harry Potter World. Like I just love, I mean, what other time would I get a chance to walk through Middle Earth on that scale? I mean, I can go to Hobbiton in New Zealand, but like to see the sweeping landscapes of Middle Earth in the Second Age, like, wow. So that for sure would be 1. And then I think maybe you've sold me. Like Cliff and his dancing cat have really have really drawn me over to the concert side. I think 2 is concert with first episode being like a really close 3. It's like
really? Episode is 3.
1, 2, 3. You know what I mean?
Cliff, do you put episode 1 at number 3 as well? Like,
no, I got, it's happened that they can do both. Like what they did with the Obi-Wan concert where John Williams showed up, and they can show us the first episode and we can walk across the street and go to Petco Park and watch Howard Shore that night. We can do it both. Let's do it. Let's do it all. Let's do it all.
And build an offsite because Amazon has infinite money.
Actually, yeah, there's nothing stopping them from doing all of the above. Why not?
What's another billion to them? You know what I mean? Like,
it's nothing. You know what it is? It's 3 hours of Amazon purchases. Like, it's nothing. This is not only the biggest show production in history, it is allegedly the biggest marketing budget in history. And Comic-Con is their first big wham bam thank you fans, because I think the next 6 weeks is going to be on every billboard. It's going to be in every commercial break on every television network in every country. Like, you will not be able. Green Dragon gossip. I bumped into someone this weekend at a thing, and they are making TV commercials for Alexa that speaks Sindarin.
No, really?
So I don't know if they're upgrading Alexa so you can ask questions in Elvish and Dwarvish, but someone shot a commercial with an Alexa and Galadriel responded. Like, you can ask Galadriel questions. I don't know if that was just the concept of the TV commercial or if that's an actual feature that they're rolling out, but like, Amazon owns Alexa, they own Whole Foods, they own Audible.com, they own Twitch, they own a bunch of other stuff. So you can predict that if you tune into Twitch after Comic-Con for the next 6 weeks, you will see a Lord of the Rings ad. Like,
you know what? There's already Siri Lord of the Rings joke built into all Apple products. There already is one. You know, when you activate Siri and say, "How do I get to Mordor?" You'll get this, paragraph saying, "Go south along the river Gwathlo, and then hop over Zarak Zagil, and then keep going down the river Anduin, and then make a left at the Mountains of Shadow." It's all that. Siri will give you that joke response, and there's a couple of other stock answers that Siri has. So I wouldn't be the least bit surprised that they could program other customized messages into it.
I'm not gonna lie, I am not super pro Alexa, but the prospect of being able to have conversations in Sindarin is a very attractive one. And that,
oh my gosh,
listen, can you imagine?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can. I can. It's so cool.
This might be the thing. This might be the way Amazon gets me. This might be the way. Ugh, shame.
For shame. All right, before we go, I gotta show you.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta show you some merch. So our friend Molly Ostertag, you know her as Hobbit Gay on Twitter. You also know her as the writer of several of your favorite Disney shows. She's Peabody Award winner, and she designed this t-shirt, Bag and Social Club, a queer place and folk are queerer. That is straight from Tolkien's pen in Fellowship of the Ring. He called
Isn't that
Bag
charming?
End.
That is the most charming. That is so charming and funny. I love that design. That is so great.
It's also just a great shirt. Like excellent, like even fashion wise, excellent shirt. God, she's unmatched.
A queer place and its folk are queer. And then we came up with this because we loved Spider-Man so much that
oh yeah, that is my favorite. I love that.
So that is Ralph Bakshi's Rankin and Bass and Ian McKellen's Gandalf pointing at each other, just like that Spider-Man meme.
So cute.
We have,
isn't that great? I love that.
The One Ring logo. Again, we're not for profit. I'm just trying to pay off the booth because it was like $5,000.
Yeah.
Y'all, the amount of work that these folks have put into this very expensive venture, like for real. Cannot stress enough.
I showed you guys last week the Durrance folk family reunion for the dwarves. Varking, threatened me and my children with violence if I didn't have some dwarf content. 100%. And then this is the only Rings of Power related merch you can get anywhere.
Yep, there it is. That's so cool.
That's pretty exclusive. I'm not gonna lie.
That's super fun.
Exclusive. And
dude,
check it out. Warner Brothers sent me a dozen copies of the 4K Hobbit Middle Earth box set. And Cliff, you're gonna give these away in trivia, right?
It's not just one trilogy, it's two trilogies. So I think that is a hexalogy that technically what we're calling it a hexology
It's
now?
the six movie series, all in 4K, all remastered, and
Extended editions?
extended editions.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
guys know how much this is. We have 12 copies to give away. And Cliff, you have some hard questions. They're gonna have to earn this, aren't they?
They are. They're gonna have to learn how to speak in Sindarin backwards to win these.
No pressure, y'all.
Yeah.
You've still got a week. Come on.
And then our friends at OSHA Designs over there in Scotland sent us officially licensed Middle Earth fabrics.
Oh, that's so
you
cool.
can- this is a Smaug.
That is
Wait,
so
I haven't
cool.
seen this.
I've never seen this. This is great.
This is just a raw like cotton. Like this is material that you can just make.
Oh, I would buy that. I would make the best scarf, the best
Hold on, let's see
winter
what
scarf
else they
out of
bought.
that. That's
I
beautiful.
love an unboxing. Come on.
Unboxing our Comic-Con prizes.
What have you got? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. What are those?
It's a magnetized tote.
I'm gonna die. That is the coolest. That is so
It
beautiful.
is an officially licensed Middle Earth map tote.
I'm so
canvas
there.
tote.
The way
I
I collect
love it.
maps.
This is going to be a prize at our party. This is going to be a cosplay prize at our party.
Oh,
so get your
wow.
cosplays ready for the
man.
party.
Oh man, that's
Y'all,
so beautiful.
I cannot stress enough. I have not had time to make a new original cosplay, so I need to vicariously live through y'all. I'll be throwing together a Lord of the Rings one, but I need y'all to bring it, okay? I am hinging all my hopes and dreams on this.
A Gondor throw.
Oh, that's so cool. That's actually
beautiful.
not Gondorian. That is the West Gate of Moria.
That is beautiful.
Yes, it is gorgeous. The West Gate of Moria design.
Another canvas tote.
Oh,
with
no
handle.
way. These are beautiful designs. Look at
These
that.
are all officially licensed.
Look at that. And they're from OSHA Fabrics.
Dang. OSHA did not pull punches.
An unboxing of an unbox.
What?
Stop.
Make that face.
I
Make
did
that
not
face.
know they made these.
Make that face one more time.
Don't do this to me.
Oh, that is so cool. I've got to have that.
Are these for sale or are these like exclusive?
These are exclusive giveaways at the party.
Oh, that is
The
so
Rings
cool.
of Power party. The link will be up in the next day or two. You will want to cosplay. They even got the handle.
Oh my gosh.
They
wow.
even print on the handle. Lorien and Mirkwood are on the handle.
I thought they
And
only did fabrics.
Look, they even have.
No, there's a compass points. There's a compass points inside. I'm dying.
So a map mug is going to go to a cosplay winner.
Unless I steal it.
Yeah, I was like, here's the thing. I've been taking longsword classes in London. I'm ready to duel for the mug. I'm gonna be honest.
Duel. Yeah, we should have a,
Kind of where
a
I'm
duel.
at.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Let's
That's
spice it up.
We might save a mug for a booth giveaway then, because not everybody will be able to get into the party. The final thing I'll say about the party is
before you say that, Justin, Orion's Angel made the best joke. He just did the Gandalf dialogue and he said, "Just tea, please." Thank you, Orion's Angel. I love you. That's so good.
the party is open to the public, but
caveat.
if you are at Comic-Con and you come to our panel Thursday morning, we have special golden tickets for something at the party.
No way.
Maybe a secret room, maybe maybe something special.
No way.
Not ready to tell you what it
dude.
is, but the party is open to the public. You'll want to sign up. But if you're going to Comic-Con and you have a badge, come to our panel, because we will tell you how to get one of 50 golden tickets that will get you something of special magnificence.
This is so exciting.
Justin,
Special.
you are curating hype. You are. Ooh, okay.
Carefully curated hype is what that is.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
This is
Exactly.
calculated.
So I'm hyping you guys up
it.
because the One Ring needs your support. We are not for profit. We don't have any ads on our site. This show we do every week for 10 years. We never had ads. We never had sponsors. Like, so we're all paying our way to Comic-Con. You're flying to Comic-Con from London. Hotels are expensive. Badges were expensive. Everything's expensive.
Yeah.
And we haven't even got there yet. So if you come to our booth, buy some merch, buy a t-shirt, one of these that you just saw. We'll have some other stuff for sale, like some wax coin, like what do they call those? Wax seals.
Oh, I was going to ask you, please show off the wax seal.
Yeah, we've got officially licensed
I love
Tree of
those.
Gondor wax seals for sale.
It's beautiful
at the booth. So you can stamp all your letters. So we're gonna have a lot of this Elvish 4-leaf set, Rivendell Mithril Blue Moon necklace. Yeah, so our friends at Shire Post Mint officially licensed Lord of the Rings book, and mostly book, not movie, but mostly book inspired. So we'll have wax seal coins, necklaces, jewelry, collectible coins, all different price points. We're bringing it. We want to have a good time, and the most important thing about having a good time is being with friends. So I can't wait to see some of you in the chat, some of our regulars that we're going to see in person. I can't wait to see you again in person, Anamaria. This is going to be so much fun.
I'm so excited. And once again, thank you all for inviting me to the panel. Thank you all for inviting me to the booth. I'm really excited to just party in Middle Earth with you all for a few days. This is a dream come true.
It's really going to be a lovely, lovely time. And we promise that for first timers like yourselves who are coming to this con experience, we'll hold your hand and make sure you get through the tough spots. We'll have a great time. It's never been as big as this. And I've been going for 22 years. I hate to say it, but I'm really quite the veteran of the Comic-Con experience. And now that we've got 2 presentations and a huge Hall H throwdown and a big party and other mysterious activations that are going to happen, I got a feeling this is going to be bigger than anything we can anticipate.
I got a feeling. We have breaking news, Cliff.
Oh my God.
No, don't do that to me.
It never ends.
20 years ago, the OneRing.net was at Comic-Con. We sold out of shirts. In fact, I went home on Thursday night after we sold out in the first day, and I printed 1,000 more shirts and came back Saturday.
I remember you did drive up, printed so many more, and came all the way back down.
Yeah, we sold thousands of shirts. We couldn't print them fast enough. We totally underestimated the popularity. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that same year, that Torn went to Comic-Con and sold out all our merch, Peter Jackson was nominated for Best Director. And here we are, 20 years later. It is just announced, breaking news, Peter Jackson is nominated as Best Director for this year's Emmy Awards for The Beatles Get Back.
Yes, that's right.
Peter Jackson might win Best Director Emmy Awards this year.
Not just an Oscar, but now he can go for the Emmy. I love that. That's a brilliant thing.
He deserves
5 Emmy nominations, including Outstanding Documentary and Best Director, Peter Jackson. Folks, this is the final year before Rings of Power starts getting nominated for Emmys. I have a feeling Rings of Power is going to be nominated for something next year at the Emmys.
It should be. It better be. After all they put us through, it should be. Yeah, of course. No, but look, back to Peter Jackson. The Beatles Get Back documentary series was a phenomenal, mind-blowing thing. And so was his other documentary, They Shall Not Grow Old. And I wouldn't have surprised myself saying this years ago. Peter Jackson one day is going to evolve into becoming one of the world's best documentary filmmakers. I would not have said that. I wouldn't have even entertained that idea.
But we knew that with the appendices. The appendices is a world-class documentary on the making films.
You're right. You're right. That's true.
If you want to make movies, you watch the Lord of the Rings appendices.
But those appendices were directed by Michael Pellerin.
Peter.
No, Peter didn't direct those. Peter stepped back. He was busy. He let Michael do it.
He was wearing a couple hats.
All right, I'm excited. This is exciting for Peter. This is so good.
All right, so we are so excited. We're going to be there next week. I don't know what Torn Tuesday is going to be like next week. I might be in San Diego already. Cliff, you might have to do this on your own unless you're coming down on Tuesday. No, you're coming down on Wednesday for preview night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
but
we're going to figure out.
I can come on Tuesday if you need me there. That's fine.
Maybe I can sneak some footage. Oh, man. I'd get in so much trouble.
Panel canceled. Thrown out of Hall H.
Well, thank you to our friends at Warner Home Entertainment giving us those awesome 4K. Thank you to Prime Video for hooking us up with a party of special magnificence. I'm so excited for what we got in store. In fact, I just saw the 10-foot videos. Never mind. I can't tell you anything more.
Oh gosh.
We're gonna have costumes there. We're gonna have costumes. OSHA Design sent us these awesome gifts. I think people are gonna freak out about those gifts. Those for the contest. And the final thing is a thing got leaked and then it got pulled. That thing you'll be able to watch this Thursday at 6 a.m.
Yep.
6 a.m., folks. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern. You'll be able to see the thing that you didn't see.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that joke from the cartoon series Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law? Remember that show?
Yeah.
That there was a character who was the hippopotamus, and he would always say, "Hey, did you get that thing I sent you?"
Hey, this is a good question. Of Gondor, I get a lot of questions like this. Maybe I'll start with Anamaria. You want to answer this? Of Gondor in the chat room says, "How are you guys going midweek to Comic-Con? What are your day jobs?"
Well, I'm a wedding minister. I do most of my work on the weekends. As a minister, I have to do the wedding ceremonies and officiate. And then after I do the ceremony, I have to manage the legal paperwork and make sure that the marriage license is properly done and submitted back to the court clerk. And I do most of my work on the weekends. I did reschedule all of my weddings. I am sorry to say, I had a bunch of
for Rings of Power.
Yep.
Amazon, I hope you love this.
So irate.
I had to give up. I had to give up my bride and groom. I did. I know it sounds crazy,
for that?
but don't worry. Hey, now it's not that they're standing alone with nobody to do their wedding for them. They've got somebody replaced. They replaced me.
Cliff is that good.
Hold on.
Unhinged. This is unhinged.
It's true. I work for an agency here in Southern California, and we've got about 38 or 39 other ministers and priests, and they were able to choose another wedding minister who was able to take my place. So don't worry, we had a good surrogate who replaced me, but I did reschedule that weekend just so I could go to Comic-Con.
For Rings of Power. Okay.
Yeah.
So Amazon better deliver you the goods. That's all I have to say. Amazon better bring it.
My God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're finishing up your finals, right? This week?
Yeah. Well, it's all very serendipitous because I have 12-week terms, and this happened to fall during my summer break. So I mean, who am I to deny fate?
Perfect.
As
and
for
I'm
me,
just
I'm
just living off Amazon shill money, so I can take any day off. So
obviously,
can't you tell?
Amazon gave you that hat, gave you that mic. They're actually housing you. They're paying your rent. It is what it is.
Everything. I'm a company town. I'm a company man at this point. Oh man. Well, we're
That's
so
funny.
excited. We're so excited for the support that we're getting from all of the studios that are related to Lord of the Rings, Middle
Yes.
Earth Enterprises
Yes.
and Warner Brothers and Amazon and Prime Video and stuff like that. So we're just really excited. And, you know, at the end of the day, we just want to have fun. I'm just here to have fun. I hope the show's good, whatever. But as you can see here today, it's not just about the show. It's about everything around it and the fun we have as a community and the energy that we give to the actors and the energy that they share back with us and the cosplay and the prizes and the parties and the merch and the talks. You know, we're gonna have like 3 a.m. talks going late into the night about what did we debate in London?
Oh my God.
It was how we debated till 3 a.m. in the hotel lobby how Peter Jackson ruined Aragorn because he was never a reluctant king.
Yeah, there was some pretty heated moments, I'm not gonna lie.
Like standing up like what's the fight?
No, I was really sitting on the couch like I was like, are we about to fight over Aragorn's cinematic characterization? And it was excellent. So you know, get ready. Excellent. Get your debate hats out. We're gonna be
Boromir would never drop the sword.
The shards of Narsil, he would have never dropped the sword. It's sacrilegious, you know. All in good fun.
Just like Faramir would never have dragged the hobbits all the way to God blessed Osgiliath. Never.
See, that Faramir is my like Boromir dropping the sword. Like Faramir's characterization, that is the thing that I get upset about. So I'll be starting that argument in San Diego for sure.
Okay, we're good for that. That's a good conversation to have.
That's just goes to show we're ready to talk with you fans at the booth. Find us at the panel. Find us after the panels. Have these chats because this is what we love to do. We do it on our own all day, every day. We do it for you on the air. The Torn hotline, the phone number. I hope you save that in your phone. It's down at the bottom of the screen. My phone number is going to be active all weekend long. So you'll be able to text me and be like, hey, go see that thing at that booth. Like, okay, like just you guys got to tell me. I'm too busy.
I'm like concerned. I'm like horrified that Justin is making himself so available. But look at the generosity, y'all. Look at the generosity.
I'm just here to have fun and bring it all to you. I'm just.
You know what? I agree. It is a community.
I told Varking and Matt, Nerd of the Rings, politely, be nice to Jed Brophy. Don't be on live streams all day long asking him what about this in The Hobbit and what about that orc that took a tumble off the cliff, like that wasn't even in the books. Like, don't be the sweaty nerds. Jed Brophy's coming to our booth to have a good time.
Oh my God,
that's hilarious. So
we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
thank you for calling in so late today on the show. We're really excited to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I will see y'all in just over a week in San Diego.
In just a little while. Thank you for being up so late at night, my dear friend. That's very kind of you. And I'm glad that Matt, Nerd of the Rings, was in our chat with us today. And I hope he's not missing out on us poking fun at him. But yeah, Varking and Matt need to behave around Jed Brophy. That's true. It's going to be so much fun, though. It's going to be so fun. Do you know what? We know, Justin and I know where there's a lot of good food around in the gas lamp district in San Diego. And we know where to find good food so that we're not stuck in the convention hall eating hot dogs and nachos. We know where there's really...
Well, I'm not eating at my mask is not coming off in the convention.
I agree.
I am not getting COVID.
I agree. Me neither.
Would not recommend it at all.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
If I test all the time, I'm not going to get sick.
I will leave y'all to talk food logistics. It was such a pleasure to get on here and kiki with y'all tonight.
Thank you, hun. Yeah, it was so good. Super good. Thank you. Well, I guess it's time to wrap it up and say goodnight to everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, good night. Well, to all the Lord of the Rings fans out there, join us again next Tuesday at 5:00. So we're going to do one last throwdown on Torn Tuesday before we begin preview night. Wednesday night is the very first half day, half night of San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to be there. and it's going to be exciting as all get out. And there will be more information. Look right now on the onering.net on our main page and check out the story we just published this afternoon that covers our schedule and our booth location and very helpful instructions so you can download the app on your phone. And on the San Diego Comic-Con official schedule, you can link up our panel presentations and get them put on your calendar on your phone so that you won't miss a beat on any of the stuff that we're doing at Comic-Con, okay? So look for that on the onering.net main page. In the meantime, Anamaria, where can people follow you on Twitter?
Yes, I am at only Anamaria. That's ANNAMARIA. On Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, where I'm like, I guess I'm about to start posting soon.
Oh gosh.
Worn down. I guess I'll start making TikToks. But yeah, I'm mostly active on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be posting a lot about the con when I'm there. So I will see y'all. I'll see y'all in San Diego.
Nice. It would be great.
We'll see you there. I'm so excited.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Good night, my dear. And to everybody else in the online world, Kitty Cat says good night. And thanks for being with us on this wonderful show. We will be seeing you all next Tuesday at 5 o'clock Pacific time. And,
Varking in the chat wants me to tell everybody, join the Discord. We had 500 new signups on the thing that didn't happen on Friday.
The thing.
So Varking is gonna spoil as much things as possible in the Discord. So if you want to be first to know everything and anything this week and next week, you want to join the Discord. I promise you.
That's right. It's going to be so good. Join the Discord. Join us and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at QuickBeam2000 and follow us, the One Ring Net without the dot. And I guess we'll see you guys next Tuesday right here on Torn Tuesday. Until then, please be kind to yourselves and be gentle with one another. And let's look after ourselves, okay? So stay safe and stay happy. And we'll see you guys next week. Until then, good night and good luck. Or as I like to say, buenas noches y buena suerte. Bye, everybody.
We got a box of Kelly's books too. Kelly Rice, the Happy Hobbit's going to sign her books.
Oh yeah, Kelly Rice, fantasy author.
I have a whole box of her books.
I'm very excited. She's going to be there selling her awesome stuff. That's going to be so good.
All right, we'll see you there.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.